I'm really calling today on behalf of our chairman of our board, the board of directors, and the president of our football club to inform you that your name has been put forward as part of the class of 2022 to go on the Wall of Honor. So
Oh, thank you.
congratulations.
Thanks. That's yeah, yeah, that is kind of nice. It's a long time coming, I guess, to be honest about it. But I am happy for the opportunity to have my name and my number put on the plaque as one of the people who helped bring success to the Edmonton Football Club back in the day.
Well, you touched on it. I'm going to be very frank and tell you that I think that you're going in with Joe Holloman and Ed Germany and Jim Germany,
Oh,
and I
good.
think on this day, your birthday, by the way, for the world to
Yeah.
know, that it is long overdue. It's a birthday present, and it's something that has been a little bit amiss in our organization historically, is to not have more significant players, record holders, and people like you that are in our record books, and people like you that stayed in Edmonton and married here and raised a family here and became citizens. That's to me is equally as important as the stuff that took place on the field. So once again, congratulations for all of that stuff too.
Okay, well, thank you. And I'm still upright. I'm still walking. I've had 11 surgeries. So, uh, my friends call me bionic, but I'd do it all over again, even with all the surgeries and some of the physical problems I've had after football. So it was a very rewarding and enjoyable time to be here in the city and playing football and having the associations with the other pro teams in the league. I mean, it was community, not just Edmonton, but there was a sports community as well that I enjoyed and participated in. And wow, I'm really happy.
I'm glad you are.
Yeah, yeah, really happy about this.
Well, you get to walk out of this room and tell Jamie what's going on.
Yes, I
And you
did.
get to make a phone call to a young fireman in BC and tell him as well. That's
Yeah,
probably also pretty darn important to you as well.
yes, yes. I've Derek texted me about half hour ago, and I guess he's working. He asked me if I'm ready for a phone call at 7, but we're going out to dinner. So I told him, maybe 9 o'clock our time, and we can get together and talk, and I'll let him know then. And my
Fantastic.
daughter, and maybe a few other guys around here too.
Well, try not to tell too many because we probably won't send this announcement out till Monday, but you're sure welcome to share it in your circle of
There'll be the
influence.
immediate family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. If you had to if you had to say something right now on this recording to I'll start with the fans. What would you say to the fans of our football team that watched the highs and the lows and everything in between?
Well, probably most of the fans who saw me play are my age, older, maybe a few years younger. So if I was talking to the fans today, a lot of them probably would have never seen me play. But I would assume you guys are going to have some clips on the screen there from the days. But I appreciated the fans. I used to say when it was 30 below in late October at a Western Final and look up there and see about 60,000 people and say, God, we appreciate your support. And you must be the toughest people in the world to sit out here for 3 hours in 30 below weather. Uh, so the fans have paid me much respect in my time here. I'm still recognized by a lot of people who are, I'd say, 50 on up. And those that are younger always talk about their grandfathers watching me play. Would I sort of get a kick out of that? Because I always say, did you skip a generation? What about your father? I mean, your grands. You know, they always go back to people who are my age.
So
So,
if you're standing on the first tee next week, and there'll be some names that might be people like Larry Ruck and Blake Dermott and Rod Connup and others that I know you go play golf with from time to time.
right.
That's gonna be very, very cool time for you as well. And there's some time between now and August the 13th, when we play Saskatchewan, is when we're going to honor you. And
Okay,
then we'll have
August.
you then when we get an annual dinner date set, we'll have you at that as well. And so, what's it going to be like to have your family out at midfield then on the 13th of August?
I think that, well, Derek won't be here, I don't think. But my daughter Jordan and her special other and my granddaughter will be there, as long as Jamie. We don't have too much family here anymore in Edmonton. They like the warmer weather in BC. You know, my brother-in-law and his family, my son, they're all out in Vancouver, and makes it a little harder, you know. But I know how my dad felt when I decided to come up here and stay, um, and he knew I was not coming back to live in Jersey for quite a while, especially when I packed up my 10-speed bicycle,
That was a
which I still
giveaway.
have. Held it up on the wall in the garage, and I'm teased about it. And I said, "Hey, this is a 1974 special, you know."
It's like you. It's a 1974 special.
Yeah, still
Well,
have
Ed,
it.
you had a wonderful career, and you're a wonderful Edmontonian, and we're going to make sure that people know that at the annual dinner and on August the 13th. So congratulations once again.
Okay, well, thank you, Al. Thank you very much. And I may touch base with, so that was Germ's number that I gave you.
It was perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Well, I may touch, have you spoken to them yet?
we just hung up from Joe, and I'm going to call Jim Germany at 3 o'clock, so half an hour away.
Okay,
And
well, I'll call them before I go to dinner.
yeah, Jim he was just classic Jim. He's still the coolest guy around,
I talked
and
about him all the time. I said, he's the only guy I know who could probably run a 4.5 40 and his feet only come off the ground 2 inches. I mean, that's how he ran. But he'll still tell me, yeah, I'm in shape. He's in shape. I can play. Yeah, sure you can.
he's such a wonderful guy too. And again, I think you and Joe and Ed, um, you guys it's so long overdue. I was very pleased to be a part when I came back here in 2013 that Hector and Billy
Yeah,
got named to the Wall of Honor. And ever since 2013 and that banquet and that game, I've thought there's at least three more guys that I can name right now. I'm going to do everything in my power to see if I can get that in front of the board. And our chairman, Ian Murray, who's a longtime Edmontonian, he said, it's an automatic, Alan. Call them and tell them that that's what we want to do. So, of course, we had to do some little bit of background work before we just picked up the phone. But I just want you to know that I'm so glad that you guys are all healthy
yeah.
and that y'all still, there's a green and gold tattoo somewhere. We're going to honor you for your Eskimo career and put you on the EE Wall of Honor. And then players that are Elks down in the future, they'll go on as Elks. But you guys played as Eskimos and were champions as Eskimos. So good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard for me to, when people call me an elk, it just doesn't feel right to me, because everything I got, it says Eskimos, rings and
Well,
everything.
I'll say, yeah, Ed, we changed our team name. The team changed its name, but it didn't erase the word Eskimos from our Grey Cup rings or our legacy or your history. You will be honored as an Edmonton Eskimo.
Thank you. That's great. Yeah, and that's how it should be, I think. I
Absolutely.
always wondered about the you know, when other teams had their names changed and how the players felt about that, beginning with Montreal becoming the Concord, and uh, you had Ottawa changing their names, being the began with an R, Renegades or something like that. I don't know, but you know, I always wondered how Tony Gabriel and guys like that felt about those guys now are representing the new name, even though they played under the old name. It is kind of strange, but I know, and most of the people that know me refer to me as an Edmonton Eskimo, not an Edmonton Elk.
Well,
And I could stop. Yeah, and a lot of them have asked, to be honest, why aren't you up on the wall? Why aren't you in the Hall of Fame? Because they see the list of people in the Hall of Fame, and I always say, well, you know, it's a little subjective, and a lot of times they look at stats, and there were years that I wasn't challenged enough to have 60 interceptions like Highball or Les Brown or guys like that who were in the Hall of Fame, basically because of, I guess, their interception record. Yeah, I think I'm in the low 30s, but I do have 5 championships with the Edmonton Eskimos, and I don't think many people other than Edmonton Eskimos will have that amount of rings, especially consecutive.
I asked Dale Potter about you, and he said it was remarkable that you could play the way you played and play to the level that you played and never stop talking the whole game. He
Well,
said,
I tried to be a little bit of a teacher out there. And Waddell used to call me the computer. There's a funny story Waddell always used to tell in practice when Joe Farragelli was the offensive coordinator, and they're running the play. It's O time, so the defense is just a scout, and they're running our plays, and Waddell comes out and runs the jet on me, and I said, "Hey, Waddell, I think you were supposed to run a post." Farragelli's yelling at him as he's running back to him. Oh, you were supposed to run a post. Wonders how I knew. And I said, well, you know, I study. And I guess that's the Rutgers in me, the Ivy League kind of thing. Even in the NFL, they used to call me the smart kid. I should know this because I went to Rutgers. But I said, it didn't just come to me. I put in a lot of work to be the person I am and the player I am. So, you know, it came with a lot of hard work, a lot of studying and determination, wanting to be the best and be a part of the best, which was the Eskimos. And part of the reason I stayed because we were the best. We had the best friends. We had the best organization, including you, Al. You was part of that organization, you know. So it was first class, and that's what I wanted to be a part of, an organization that was first class, and the Eskimos were, and hopefully still will be.
yeah. Thanks, Ed. I really appreciate it. Go tell your family.
Okay, thanks, Al.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Take care.